Just explain to me why you're putting those emails on a social media Twitter feed.
Well, again,
No, just answer the question.
So to answer the question, I was highlighting my concerns about the fact that you are working in the White House. And
But when you're being connected to me by a National Security Council colleague, why would you react with your concerns when he's recommending you to me? How does that concern you? Why is that a reason of concern? I don't understand how Josh is connecting us is a problem for you. Is it because I didn't get back to you fast enough? Is that the reason? I mean, have we ever met?
No, we have not. As a matter of fact...
So why is there such vitriol pumping out of you constantly, every day now? It's so strange. I looked at your Twitter feed, once or twice a day, and again, it's half a dozen tweets about me, and I've never met you.
Wow, are you defeating jihad by monitoring or trolling my Twitter feed? I mean, honestly, to begin,
oh my God, okay. If that's your explanation,
you've called as a White House official, you have called an American citizen and begun the conversation very confrontationally by accusing me of animus towards you, of which I'm attempting to explain there is no animus towards you. I believe that you are a charlatan.
Me a fake,
yes.
Not animus.
That's not. I would submit to you.
Tweets from your Twitter feed that are attacking my personal professional integrity is not animus. What is it? You trying to be friendly with me?
No. As a matter of fact, that's not the case at all. As I would submit to you that a majority of terrorism experts who have experience working with policymakers, which you do not until now, would agree that you are not an expert of level sufficient to be working in the White House with the president's inner circle.
That's one man's opinion. A man who has a 2-year-old TV clip into his Twitter feed and having to point out that he had an op-ed piece in the Wall Street Journal as your header. I mean, that's your qualifications. You don't have a TV hit from more than 2 years ago. I mean, isn't that peculiar that you're questioning my credentials and your last TV hit is 2 years ago?
Actually, that's not true. That's not true. Sebastian, what I'll do, what I'd be happy to do,
this is your op-ed.
I would be happy.
What are your qualifications? Who made you the arbiter of counterterrorism proficiency and policy relevance in the United States? Could you tell me who did that?
Well, how about this, Sebastian? Why don't I share with you correspondence from members of Congress, which highlights I have been directly involved in the formulation of national security policy.
Here's my email. You've got my email, right? Sebastian.l.gorka.
And so why don't I add to that? Why don't I add to that a list?
Mr. Smith, how about this?
You've called me an American citizen whom you are working for, and approached me in a very confrontational manner, suggesting. No. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I invite you to the White House Thursday for a cup of coffee, and you can bring all your evidence about why you have problems with me, and we'll discuss it over a cup of coffee. How's that? How friendly an offer is that?
Well, it would be friendly if you could give me 2 weeks, because you've caught me in the middle of preparing for a speech that I have to give next week.
All right, hang on. I'll open my calendar right now. Hold on. So, 2 weeks from now, 28th is 1 week.
Better yet, why don't we do this?
How about Wednesday the 8th?
Why don't we do this?
Wednesday the 8th is open in the afternoon. How about a 2 o'clock meeting at the White House? Does that work for you?
Well, I would need to have specifics about who else will be in attendance, because if you're planning on bringing the White House legal counsel, I'd be happy to bring my own along.
Just you and me.
Because you've already threatened a lawsuit.
If you really want to explain to me your problems, then let's just be the two of us in my office in the White House complex. How's that?
I will get back to you on it. I'll tentatively say yes. I'd be happy to meet you then. Meanwhile,
okay, so
I want to address.
I
want to further address 2 things here.
Go ahead.
The tweet to which you're referring to that's pinned on my feed, I've done many appearances on Fox programs since then. That just happened to have been a program that I enjoyed very much participating in, so I left it pinned to my account. Secondly, the Wall Street Journal article that you're referring to, that is the banner image for my feed on Twitter, that's not an op-ed. They were covering my work.
Forget about it. Let's just have this.
No. You have approached this conversation in a most childish and obnoxious manner.
Read your Twitter feeds. Read your Twitter feeds. Obnoxious. Read your Twitter feeds. Okay.
I stand by everything on my Twitter feeds, and there's no way for you to change my opinion of that. To be completely frank with you about this, I find it most curious that a person of your manner, your demeanor, what you are exuding on this phone call is deemed stable enough to hold a TSSCI clearance and work in the White House.
Don't let that worry you, okay? That's not your job. You don't work in government, and it's not your job to make those determinations.
Oh no, but you know, Sebastian, if you knew anything about my background,
it doesn't matter to me. It's not your job. You didn't get to choose who works in the White House, so unfortunately, that's not your call. But let's move on.
No. I think that this phone call highlights some serious issues with potential mental stability. I mean, to call an American citizen.
Okay. You can keep on talking about that. Please confirm for me when you're comfortable, when you've written your speech. I've got it penciled in 2 p.m. on the 8th of March. In the White House. Be delighted to see you there. If you already have my email, thanks to the NSC emails that you posted, so you can confirm that at any time. Just because of the Secret Service system that clears guests, please confirm at least 24 hours beforehand, because we're going to have to get your details to clear you through the system. Okay? Sound like a deal?
Sebastian, I think that you just have some very interesting assumptions here.
Let's leave the conversation. You can bring your materials. You can bring whatever you want from the Hill. That's fine. Let's have a gentlemanly discussion inside the building, and we'll take it from there. And you can show me what your concerns are. Maybe you'll listen to me, potentially address them. If not, but I am so absolutely dumbfounded by how you are so interested in me, particularly. Thousands of people that work inside the U.S. national security establishment. Let's satisfy my curiosity. Maybe you'll change your mind. Maybe you won't. That's absolutely your discretion. But I am open. The bottom line is I am open to meet you personally, and let's take it from there. How's that?
Well, I'm really taken aback by what would seem almost...
My offer to meet you?
No, the mania that's evinced by this conversation. You call me, basically berating me and suggesting that you are...
Please, let's talk about mania. I'll just bring up your Twitter feed. Or Mike Smith, second Twitter feed. Let's not...
Well, why don't...
There's that Twitter feed out there. So I want to get beyond that. And as gentlemen, I want to talk to each other face to face. Is that something that you can countenance?
Well, yeah, I'd be happy to do that, but I'm just so surprised that you're demurring from your original posturing.
We're not getting anywhere over the phone. That's all. I just want to.
And so, what are you going to threaten me in person? Is that what you plan to do?
What? I'm going to invite you to meet with me at my workplace to threaten you. That's hardly a logical inference for you to make.
Okay. So, I mean, I'm just curious.
I'd just like to hear in first person what it is you have with me personally, face to face, because I think these issues can often be settled much better in person, not over social media, not over a phone line. That's how I like to operate. I presume that's reasonable to you.
Well, it would seem reasonable had you not begun the conversation in the manner that...
You have attacked me. Let me begin the conversation by saying I don't like it when people expend a lot of time attacking me, okay? That's not a peculiar statement to make. I haven't attacked you, so allow me to say, look, it's weird that you attack me incessantly, and I'd like to know why and perhaps convince you that it's not necessary. If that's not possible, if you wish to continue your attacks, then so be it. I am open to meeting with you. If you find that extreme, that's your decision, Mr. Smith.
No, okay? I mean, you just, put yourself in my shoes. I mean, as somebody...
No, put yourself in my shoes. I've never met you and I've never attacked you. And your Twitter feed is an incessant the rating of my professional acumen. Put yourself in my shoes, Mr. Smith. Have you done that? How would you like it if somebody you'd never met daily professionally attacks you? I don't think you'd like it.
Sebastian,
okay, so I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt to say, okay, you've got some reason to do this. Let's talk about it as reasonable men, face to face. This is the only offer I want to make to you as a person who has no understanding why you chose a stranger to attack on your Michael Smith the second Twitter feed. I really just would like to know why, face to face, man to man. If that is not a reasonable request,
sure,
then it's fine. Continue doing what you do.
In fairness,
conversation.
In absolute fairness to you, let me just prepare you by saying that what you will hear is that I have very serious concerns about our national security.
I get it. You said that. Okay, let's talk about it face to face and see if in some way or shape you can convince me or I can convince you, or whether we can just say, okay, enough said, you continue what I do, what you do, and I continue what I do. Look, if you don't want to meet in person, that's okay. But if you wish to stand up for your statements face to face in a reasonable, gentlemanly fashion, I think that's the decent thing to do.
So, to what I was saying earlier, when I was saying put yourself in my shoes, what I was meaning with that statement was, you call me, accusing me of animus, accusing me of obsessing over you in some manic manner, and then you posture a lawsuit, and then you pivot in tone to suggest that we should meet in person. So this just seems very surprising to me.
Okay, look, I wanted to ask you on the phone why you're doing what you're doing. I didn't get an answer that seemed to clarify.
Because you did not allow me to answer.
Let me finish. I didn't get any kind of simple answer that there's a hidden agenda. I somehow crossed you in the past or we'd met. Therefore, I said, look, before I do anything and show these materials to legal counsel, tell me why you're doing it. Then I thought, okay, well, this is pointless because you're just repeating the stuff you say on Twitter, so we're not going to get to any resolution there. So then I thought, wow, let's talk in person.
Well, you wouldn't allow me to answer your questions.
That's fine.
You would not allow me to answer your questions.
I'm not going to listen to you berating my qualifications again, okay? I don't need that over a phone when you've done it daily for the last 3 weeks, okay? That's not going to convince me any more of an explanation as to why you're doing what you're doing. So, don't waste either of our times by just rehashing what you've already done on social media. Let's go to the next plane, which is a person-to-person meeting. Do you think, is that something you could countenance?
Oh, sure, of course I could.
Okay, good. Great. Well, I'd love to see you in the White House 2 weeks from now. You decide close to the date if it's something you can do. If you can, give me your details that we can use to get you into the building, and then we'll take it from there. Sound like a deal?
It sounds like a deal.
Great.
But I'm just really taken aback by your assumptions about me and my credentials and my past work.
We're not going to resolve this to anybody's satisfaction over the phone. I don't know you from Adam. That's why your attacks against me are hard to fathom. There are a lot of people you could say you don't think are qualified, okay? But why you chose me of all people to attack, that's what I don't understand. So let's try and get to a point face to face.
Well, I mean, again, just to be honest,